Hello and welcome to the Bronco Exchange. I'm your host, Dr. Shanessa Fenner, and this is part 2 with Amy Nevajas. She is the Executive Director of Better Health, and we're discussing diabetes and Better Health, the nonprofit organization. Now, Amy, I want to continue this discussion about diabetes. What can happen to a person that has diabetes and they're not treating it? Give me some of the effects of that.
Well, diabetes can really impact so many different organ systems in someone's body, and a lot of people don't realize that. It can impact your vision. It can have really serious impacts on individuals' vision. It can impact kidneys and lead to dialysis ultimately, where they have to be treated regularly. It can lead to amputations. What we'll see more in the immediate scenario, if someone's blood sugar gets too high or too low, it can lead to seizures, and it can lead to diabetic coma. It's very, very serious, and in worst case scenarios, it can lead to death. But treated, it can be well managed, and I think it's important for people to realize that individuals who have diabetes can lead really wonderful lives and can do the same things that any of the rest of us can do. And it's such a scary word sometimes, and it kind of carries that stigma, but I think it's important to know you can live a wonderful life with diabetes, but you just have to have the information and be able to put that into practice to manage it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Fayetteville Fit.
Yes, this is our new kids program. We are launching in September 2018, and we brought it in from Duke. Duke University created this program, and it's all about helping obese children. So what we're doing is we're partnering with local physicians, pediatric doctors, who are identifying children who are at high risk because they're significantly obese. So they'll be referred to this program, and the cool thing about it for me is that the entire family then can participate in this program. So at Massey Hill Rec, we'll have 2 nights a week where we'll have different activities and cooking classes, but mostly really focused on physical activity of whatever sort, whatever it might be that that child loves. We'll have different activities where all of them will be active together. So really trying to create lifestyle changes with the entire family. So parents can't just drop their kids off. It's the whole family being involved, and if one child qualifies, the siblings qualify. So Susie might be over there doing salsa class or yoga or soccer, and mom might be on the treadmill, or she might want to play with them too. But they're all there together really trying to make those lifestyle changes, because we know that kids can't do that alone. It's hard for us as adults to make that kind of lifestyle change, so we want to make sure that they're being supported, and we can help the entire family then to try and implement these changes along the way.
Okay. So what are the characteristics of an obese child? You're talking about a child that's obese. Is that a child that's 10 pounds overweight, 20 pounds? Give me your definition of obese.
Well, you would look at their BMI, and that's going to be based on their weight and their height. And so for this program, we're looking at those that are within the 95th percentile, which is going to be pretty high. But that's what it's going to be based on. And the doctor is going to be measuring for that every time a child comes in for their annual well-child check, and they get that weight and height. They're looking to see kind of where they are in that chart. To see if they're in a safe area or if it's indicating that they might have problems. And they may even do blood work if there's a concern. So these are children who are they might move a little bit differently than their peers. And one of the wonderful things about the program that we found at Duke, parents thought, well, my child doesn't like sports. But when they got in a program where they were surrounded by children who were all facing the same types of problems and the same challenges, they loved it. But it's because they were in a safe environment where their bodies moved a little bit differently maybe than their peers, and they had some of the challenges. They might get out of breath, but they were in that environment where it was okay, and we were all dealing with this together, and so they were willing to try these different sports that they might be too timid to try at school around others, especially with bullying today.
Now, Amy, this program starts in September, which is next month.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me a little bit about how are you going to recruit and find these students?
Well, the pediatricians are going to be our referral source. So right now, to start with, we have 2 pediatric offices that are referring to us. Eventually, we really hope to be able to open that up, but it's important to have that medical component so that they can make sure the children qualify and follow the child as well throughout the program. So that's where our referral source is going to be to start with.
Okay. Let's talk a bit about your 60th anniversary that's coming up. Let's talk about that.
Yes, so 60 years for Better Health. We started in 1958, so we're really excited about that, and we hope to do an open house at Better Health. Despite the fact that we've been around for 60 years, there's so many people who are not aware of Better Health services. Everything we do is free. We're not here to make money. We're here to make Cumberland County healthier.
Because I hadn't heard of Better Health until I was given an assignment, of course,
Yeah.
to write an article about Better Health, and I didn't even know about Better Health until you and I
Right.
started. Actually, it was Judy Klink in the beginning who I would
Yep.
interview with, and then now you.
Yes.
So of course I didn't know about it as well.
Yeah, so and we see that a lot. Oftentimes clients may be referred to us, and then when they come, they say, I had no idea. Sometimes they'll ask me why we don't market more. And being on a small nonprofit budget, that can be challenging. And the way I explain that to them is, on a small nonprofit budget, I could pay $200 for a bulletin board, or I could pay $200 for this man's insulin. For me, that's an easy decision to make.
Insulin's going to win.
Exactly, the insulin's going to win. So it's a challenge, but word of mouth is probably the biggest way that we're able to get things out there, and we try to communicate and let doctors know what we're offering. Churches oftentimes spread, and we go out and we do presentations too, but we're going to have an open house probably late October. Haven't quite nailed down that date, but we welcome anyone to come in anytime just to see what we do and pick up some pamphlets and talk to us. We love what we do. I love to talk about it. I could talk about it all day long. So I tell people, stop in and talk to us. Ask us questions. If we don't have the answer, we'll try and find it for you.
Okay. Let's talk about the various programs that Better Health offers.
Okay. Well, first is direct aid. That's the one we were founded on. So uninsured individuals who need help with emergency dental extractions or emergency medications. Sometimes we can help with vision. They can come to us for assistance with those same day. So we can help with those medications. We do have to have proof of income for them and proof of residency, but that's a very, very popular program. It stays very busy. And I should add in there, we do have funding for children. So, the school, if there are needs for children, please call us because we want to help. Absolutely. We try to tell social workers and the nurses if there's a need, even a child maybe who had Medicaid, if their glasses broke and they can't get another pair for another year, call Better Health and we'll help take care of that. The diabetes program, we offer clinics, and I use that term loosely. There's no doctor there, but we are doing education, checking their blood sugar, providing them with supplies. We have a dietitian who teaches our Thursday clinic, and that's at our Bragg Boulevard location in Grays Creek and in Spring Lake. We take charge of diabetes classes, which is a 7-week class. We have free exercise, the Fayetteville Fit program, of course, for kids, and we also loan out medical equipment. So anyone,
what kinds of medical equipment, Amy?
Oh goodness, all kinds of medical equipment. Okay. Anyone in Cumberland County who needs to borrow a wheelchair, a walker, bedside commode, a CPAP breathing machine, a nebulizer, they can come to us with that request, and we are more than happy to take a look and see if it's something we have in our storage unit behind the building. And if so, then they are more than welcome to borrow that item. Even individuals who have insurance, if they only need it for a short time, sometimes they'll come to Better Health to get that item. So that's a very popular program as well. And then medical supplies. So maybe it's nutritional supplements or adult diapers or colostomy supplies. All of those things are donated to us. We don't purchase any of it. So we are happy to turn that around and be able to help provide that to people who are in need in Cumberland County.
What is your number one goal, would you say, Amy, at Better Health?
I would say helping, obviously, to improve health outcomes just broadly, but I would say amongst the staff, the thing I'm most proud of our staff at Better Health is that they are so incredibly passionate about what they're doing, and I do think that makes a difference. When a client comes in, no one wants to ask for help. That's hard. That's hard for anyone to do. I expect anybody who walks through our doors to be treated the way I would want my children to be treated. And anyone should be treated with that same respect. So that's my personal thing at Better Health that I love the most, is that the staff is very passionate and very caring. And if we don't have a solution at Better Health, we're going to try very, very hard to find them a solution.
Okay. Let's talk about the Diabetes Symposium.
Okay. That's going to be November 3rd. It's our second year. Last year we hosted about 200 individuals. And it's really fun because we do breakout sessions. So Dr. Eugene Wright will be our keynote speaker for about 45 minutes, and then we'll have different breakout sessions where people can choose the topics that interest them the most, and they can go and sit with a provider or a pharmacist and learn more about that specific topic, whether it's sitting with Dr. Lau about podiatry and feet, or sitting with a registered dietitian on a medicine, doing a cooking demonstration, or learning more about nutrition, or sitting with a nurse and learning to count carbohydrates, sitting with a pharmacist, whatever it is they think they need to know more about and they need to kind of buff up on a little bit more or less, they can go and select that session and they can learn more and they can ask the questions that they've been having. So it's a great opportunity to educate the community completely free of charge on what diabetes is and how they can manage it, and that you can live well with diabetes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Red Apple Run.
Again in November. November's a busy month. That's Diabetes Awareness Month. Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
right.
We call it Blue November because that's the color for diabetes.
Oh, it is blue.
It is. Yeah,
know
that's a
that.
blue circle.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
right. November 17th, we will have our 6th annual Red Apple Run for Diabetes. It starts downtown at the Medical Arts Building, and it runs through historic Haymount. So it's really neat because it offers something for everyone. We have a 5K, we have a 10K for those who are ambitious, and there's also a 1 miler for those who might not be ready yet for the 5K or the 10K. And again, it's a fundraiser. It's going to go back to supporting those critical programs and the staff that are needed to help educate the community.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Why don't you share maybe 1 or 2 client stories with me?
Oh, I have
You
so many favorites. I have so many favorites.
I know you do, Amy.
We had a little guy come in to see us several weeks ago. His name was Ian. He was 2.
Aw.
Cutest little boy, and you could just tell he was a rascal. You know how sometimes you can just tell.
Oh, yes, you
He was
can.
well behaved, but you could tell it was there. It's like that mom mode. And Ian's grandmother brought him in. He did not have Medicaid at the time. Mom hadn't completed the forms. She brought him in because she was worried about his vision. So we referred him over to a local eye doctor that we work with. We heard back from the eye doctor, and he said, you know, his needs are greater than I can take care of, and he referred him to another doctor. So we said, okay. And we set him up there, and they called us back, and they said, the quote we gave you before is going to be higher, it's going to take more. And we said, just take care of it. Ian was blind in one eye.
No.
He was blind in one eye, and he needed some special glasses to help protect the vision in his good eye. And so that was, I mean, one, we got to see him in the office, and so that makes it very personal. But then to hear the follow-up on him as well was really impactful, and I'm just so grateful that we were able to help him and that Grandma recognized there was a need and was able to find us. She brought him back afterwards, and he has these super adorable blue Superman glasses that he's quite proud of.
Okay.
And so just knowing that he's on the right track and he's been examined and he's being followed was incredibly important for us. So that was really neat. We also had a gentleman come in this year, and his name was Ronald. And Ronald came in because he had an abscessed tooth. He was unemployed. He had no insurance. We sent him over the same day to Dr. Hodge, who is our amazing partner dentist who works people in same day.
Okay.
And Dr. Hodge extracted the tooth, and he said, but you know, I'm really worried about this area on your neck. And Ronald said, well, that's from the tooth. And the doctor said, no, that's not your tooth. There's something else going on there. So he was referred over, and it turns out Ronald had thyroid cancer.
Stop it.
He had thyroid cancer, he did. And 2 types of thyroid cancer, actually. But if he were not able to go and see that dentist, he would not have found that out because he didn't realize, he thought it was affiliated with the tooth. He didn't have insurance. And so I'm just so grateful that he came in to see us. Things come together sometimes, and there's a reason that he showed up at Better Health, and we were able to get him that assistance. He had surgery, he had his thyroid removed, and he's doing wonderfully.
Oh my goodness.
So, I mean, very impactful, and you can imagine the difference that that made on his life. That was tremendous.
Okay. Now, Amy, please give your address and the phone number to Better Health at this time.
So we're at 1422 Bragg Boulevard, and our phone number is 910-483-7534, and our website is www.betterhealthcc.org. And we are happy to answer questions or phone calls, anything anyone might have, or if they want to stop in. Like I said, we love what we're doing and working with our clients, and just very, very passionate about it. So love to share that.
All right. Well, Amy, I just want to say thank you for being a part of Better Health, and thank you for helping people. That's what it's all about, is helping someone, and encouraging and uplifting people. So thank you. Of course, you and I will be in touch because I have many more articles to do.
That's right.
About your upcoming.
More
I'm probably
events.
going to be giving some of your November.
That's right.
I'll be interviewing some November events.
Probably.
Yeah, so I'll be in touch.
That's right.
But thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you, audience, for viewing the Bronco Exchange. I'm your host, Dr. Shanessa Fenner. Have a good one.
So very much hypnotized, familiar stranger, stranger.